Fire safety is a critical factor in building design, especially when working with timber and other combustible materials. While fire resistance classes such as R, E, I, W and M, as discussed in last week's video, focus on how long a structure can withstand fire, the reaction to fire classes, also known as the Euroclass system, evaluate how materials behave in the early stages of a fire, looking at whether they ignite easily, produce smoke, or release flaming particles. So, building on last week's video about the fire resistance classes, here is a clear breakdown of the reaction to fire classes and their relevance in timber construction. The first component of the reaction to fire classes is the degree of flammability, which considers both how easily a material ignites and how much it contributes to fire growth. Materials are rated from A to F, where A1 and A2 represent the highest levels of fire resistance with no or minimal contribution to a fire, and F indicates materials that don't meet any of the criteria or aren't tested. Materials that aren't tested are normally classified as No Performance Determined, or NPD, but may sometimes be treated as Class F for conservative design purposes. Smoke production is another component of the reaction to fire classes, and is referenced with an S with a number behind it, with 0 being the best performing or littlest smoke production and 2 being the worst, with the most smoke production. Smoke is a major part in fire-related fatalities, which make the S-classes very important, especially in places such as escape routes. The final component of the reaction to fire classes focuses on the generation of droplets, which are essentially flaming particles. This section is also divided into 3 parts, with a D followed by a number. In this case, 0 is once again the best performer, producing no flaming droplets or particles, while 2 is the worst performer, with a lot of flaming droplets or particles. Fire droplets or particles can spread fire and therefore increase risk, making this part of the reaction to fire classes also very important. To make it easier to understand what classifications materials might receive, here are some typical classifications. Non-combustible materials like concrete and steel typically achieve an A1 classification, meaning they do not contribute to fire at any stage. Gypsum boards are also commonly rated A1 or A2, depending on their specific composition. Insulation products, such as glass wool, can achieve A1 or A2 ratings when produced with non-combustible binders. In contrast, untreated solid wood generally receives a Class D rating due to its natural combustibility. However, with the application of fire retardant treatments, wood-based materials can achieve improved ratings, sometimes reaching Class B. Cross-laminated timber, depending on its structure and treatment, typically falls into Class D, S2, D0. This means it is combustible and has a medium contribution to a fire, Class D, produces quite some smoke, S2, and does not produce flaming droplets or particles, D0. Timber is naturally combustible, but its fire performance can be significantly enhanced through modern methods. Encapsulating timber with non-combustible materials like gypsum boards with a rating of A1 or A2 is a common and effective approach, but this does come at the expense of the natural appearance and biophilic properties of the wood. Additional strategies include using fire retardant treated wood, applying intumescent coatings, and combining timber with protective layers in composite systems. Engineered wood products such as CLT or GLT can also be treated or clad to meet strict classifications, like B, S1, D0 under EN 13501-1. These techniques make timber a safe and viable choice for fire-resistant construction. Reaction to fire classes are essential for managing fire spread in the early stages of a fire, making them crucial in designing safe and code-compliant timber buildings. While wood is naturally combustible, fire retardant technologies have evolved to the point where timber products can meet stringent Euroclass requirements for specific applications. When designing with timber, it's important to evaluate both reaction to fire and fire resistance to ensure complete fire safety coverage in both material and structural performance. For more information on why mass timber buildings are actually very fire resistant or fire resistance in general, click on one of the videos that are visible on your screen right now and download the complete reaction to fire classes infographic on our Patreon for free.
Stay informed, stay inspired. TimberTalk.